Guys, we have a serious lack of parking available right now. We have only a few bike spaces left, and look at our parking garage. I mean, it is pretty packed here. Not a lot of space left, and I'd like to do something about that because we have some more people to hire, and we have bigger teams to have here. So, first thing I'm going to do to start this video is we're going to buy a couple of plots. We're going to buy this one. We're going to get more parking spaces over here. Then we're going to buy this one over here. And I've got an interesting idea for this one. I would like to try out the process of like setting up teams differently, right? A lot of you guys have task-specific teams instead of project-specific teams. And that's a big difference. And I want to go into that and lay into that a little bit here. So these two rooms are complaining about air quality now. They never were before, but like, okay. They are, but only if I'm standing really far away from them. Interesting. Okay. I want to address that really quick too. So let's go in, make that happen. Probably could deal with that by just putting, you know what? I'm just going to throw one of these in here. This will take care of it. And you know what? We're going to do the same thing in this room too. Just it's like a whatever thing, right? This will filter the air. It's going to be fine. There. All right. So the next thing to do, want to add some additional parking for bikes. So I think we're going to go with another row of bikes on this side. All right, that should open up a lot. And in this area here, we're going to have a new building. And this building is going to be dedicated to this whole experiment. It's not an experiment. For a lot of you, it's just standard, but this is an experiment for me in that we're going to have a dedicated design team, a dedicated programming team, a dedicated art team. And those teams only do the thing that they're specialized in. They don't do double tasks. So just as a clarification in how this differs from what we're currently doing, if you're not as familiar with the game, let's say, for example, we take a look at RPG 2C as an example, right? If we take a look at this team, RPG 2C is here. These employees have multiple skill sets, right? They're primarily a designer, so they're very good at design. And then they've got some programming skill, which they don't have much. And in this case, they're only designers, right? So the whole team is dedicated to only one task. And then what happens is when they graduate their project, whatever they're working on, what are they working on actually? They are working on right here, betrayal. Okay, so they're working on the betrayal project. And with this project, they're all doing design work. So at the moment though, it's just these guys working. These guys have nothing to do. All of them have nothing to do. And that's kind of a waste. I'm spending all this money for them to do nothing, like all day. That's not very good. And this is like this for like a year. And then they're supposed to have secondary tasks, but apparently the HR on this isn't set up for that. So whatever. It's probably a bad example of what I typically do. But if I was going to look at a different team that might be set up a little bit better, this one, for example, set up a little bit better. Right? So this person here, this is a better example of what I intend, is this guy, or this Elizabeth here. So she's primarily a programmer. She has 3 stars in the programming skill, but right now she's doing design work, and she has some design skill too. So in this case, I have everybody on design, and then when the design is done, everybody shifts to their secondary position, and they start doing their secondary jobs, okay? That's what we have going for us on most teams. I have to take a look at 2C here, and yeah, it's because of this. So we're just going to do this. And now these guys will also help out with that task too. Now that creates a situation though where there are too many designers and too many programmers or whatever. You start getting waste, but it's better than having them do nothing. I'm still paying for them anyway, right? So what I want to do is dedicated teams. So to get this done, we're going to have task-specific teams instead of project-specific teams. These are teams that will only do their one thing. When the design phase is done, the project completely leaves this team, goes off to a totally different team, and then this team will now begin work on a new thing. That's the cycle. So I'm thinking the building should probably be, let's go 2 in. I want to leave a little bit of grass. So we'll go 2 in. Kind of wanted to leave some of these trees though, like not displace all the trees. I'm gonna have to though. Yeah, I mean, I guess I have to just put them back myself. That's what I'll do. So we'll go 2 spaces in. So it goes about like this. That building. Okay. Pretty basic building here. And on the ground floor, we're going to have a door, of course, probably right here. Seems fine. We're going to want to get our path in as well. Just like that is okay. We can do some other stuff with the grass around here later if I want to. But I don't really want to have a lot of showers. We're going to have bathrooms on the ground floor. The ground floor is like our congregation area. It's going to be our cafeteria. It's going to be, you know, lots of different things. But what we're going to have, though, is the second floor of this building is going to be where we have, like, this is where work begins, right? And I think each floor is going to be dedicated to a different type of speciality. And I want to do another playthrough of this. I know it's really not the most popular thing on my channel I've ever had here. I'm mostly just kind of playing it until it's not fun anymore. We're getting there. We're almost done, actually. But the next playthrough I want to do, I'm adding a whole bunch of more mods that are going to change how I interact with the game, change the number of jobs that there are, change how specialities work. There's a lot of things that are coming down the pipeline here with modders. The modders in this game are very active. At least a few of them are very active. And I want to try out some of their creations to make a really different playthrough later. So I want to do that. And one of the things I want to do is I would like to, this isn't really part of modding, but it's kind of part of, I don't know, the project I'm thinking of. There's a lot of spaces around this city that are still nature. And I like that. Don't get me wrong. It's great. But I think it'd be really cool if our company was sort of like intermixed with the city. Right. And what I mean by that is, like, I have many different smaller buildings that are all specialized in what they do. And there would be plenty of spaces for outdoor areas and trees and all these things. There's be plenty of spaces for that. But in general, I'd have like my art department would have a building, and then the art team, every team would have its own floor kind of thing. Right. And then our design team is over here, and every floor has their own department. It just means like a different building approach instead of having everything in one big building, which isn't even really, when you look at it, it's not even that big. Next to all these other structures, it's not even that big. But in any case, that's what I'd like to do. And so this is a little bit of a trial on that is right here. So I think what I'd like to do is we're going to open up the bottom floor here to where it's all glass around the outside. And if the game would allow me to, I would love a modder to do this, by the way. Another unofficial mod request is to allow me to build rooms inside rooms. Because, like, I hate this requirement. Like, for example, with a building like this, you would definitely want some pillars that support the structure. But I can't do that. It doesn't let me do that unless I make completely separate buildings and then connect them. That'd be the only way to do it. I'd have to go into my construction project with the pillars in mind and build the pillars first. And it's just like, you know, I could do that, but design ideas change, and, you know, maybe my different sizes and stuff change, and it's cumbersome. So I'd rather just be able to do, this is what I want to do. I want to be able to do this. I can't do that. You can't build rooms inside rooms, right? You have to have them attached to another wall somewhere. So, yeah. Anyway. So at the front of the building, what I'm thinking of doing here, and maybe I'll go up right at the center. Going up at the center would be cool, but I can't build a room inside a room. This is the main core issue I'm talking about here. So I think instead of that, we're just going to do it off of this side. And we're going to say that, let's say this wide of an area. I'm trying to see like where my stairs are going to be. So I'm thinking this wide of an area. We go here, two. I think you want to go one more. Yeah, you want to go one more. So right about here, I think is good. And then we have 2 tiles for the bathroom. So it's going to have to be about here. So that's going to be our opening room right here. And I honestly probably should have done this as a copy otherwise, but there we go. All right. So this will be how that works. And then let's go in and do this too. And around the outside of the building, on every floor, I think, is just going to be glass. All right. And every floor will be a different department that's based on a task. And everyone in that team will only do the thing that they're very good at, sort of optimizing how they work. And I'm going, this is not anything new. A lot of you do this as your, you know, the way you play the game, right? I get it, but for me, this is different. So at the front of the building was where I was going to place bathrooms, but now I'm thinking because of the outside being all glass, I can't do that. So I'm thinking we have bathrooms, maybe it's going to have to be like here. So we'll have a bathroom section here, and I guess it'd be a bathroom section here. If we do that, then the doors would have to be on this side here and here. Okay. And then we would have our stairs on the other side. So let's do that actually. So we'll take our bathrooms that are over here. Let's just pick one of these right here. Take the bathroom. So the arrow is facing away from the door. Yeah. And we're going to want the bathrooms to be bop, bop. Flip it over. Bop, bop. Kind of like that. Okay. And then we come down a floor. Yeah, come down a floor. That. And then... So something like that for our bathrooms, right? There's 4 bathrooms on every floor. I think that's more than sufficient. I might even have too many, but we're just going to do it, wing it that way. Now it's complaining because there's no way to access the floor, right? We're going to change that too. So what we want is a staircase kind of embedded. I think there would be an okay spot. And I think I might even choose to put it against the glass. This gives me more room for the elevator. I was only planning on having one elevator though. No, I can watch people go up and down the stairs if I did it this way though. You know, I think I like that better. How about we try it this way? Why don't we have the stairs on this side, it comes up, and then I guess the other side of the stairs would be over here then, wouldn't it? So the door has to shift. The doors move to where the doors for to get in are on this side instead. Or we could have the elevators here and then the door would be in the center. There's ways to make this work. I just got to figure that out. I got to figure out how I want this to be designed. So I'm looking at that right now. Let me toy around with the idea. But while I'm toying around with this idea, I also don't have any showers down here. And if I'm going to have more people coming in on bikes, my showers have got to be able to support that. And the problem with that is that if you're working in this building, you're going to have to go all the way over to this building to shower and then come all the way over here. That's a nuisance. So what I'm going to do is we're going to create a little room, I think right here, like a 3x3 room right here is probably okay. All right. And then we're going to have, I think, a door on both of these sides like this. And then we want to have, if I come down here, the stairs for this is going to end up being right here. Needs to be placed indoors. Right. So for now, where do I want my showers to be? So if I'm having this, stairs are going to be on this tile. These 4 right here. So I would want to have at least 2 spaces. So we would be, I guess, here to start. That seems like it would work, yeah. And then there's only 1 tile of space behind those stairs, which isn't a huge deal, but maybe I don't need that. So we can come like this. Yeah, I think I like this. And then on that side, we would want how many showers? Let's say 1, 2, 3. This is probably enough. Do we want any on the other side too? We could get away with a few on the other side. So you're dropping in from there, and then you have the space on this side. So we can do something like this. I think that works just fine. Okay, so now I have to reapply this. So now that I can see where this is, I know that my stairs are going to be here. Okay, so that's where the stairs are. They go down. Let's change this to be like parking space. I like it. Do the same thing over here so that we just get the room to be the room. Okay, now we want to go in and grab a bunch of showers. They're over here. So let's take these showers. Arrow is towards the door this time. All right. And what we're looking for is essentially this. Yep. And then I might even go around and have even more around the outside. Something like This is probably more than I would ever need, but we'll just do something like this. I think that's fine. So we'll have showers along that side like that. And then why don't we get a few bathrooms as well? We'll just grab these from here. And we'll come over and place some bathrooms along the back side of the stairs. So we'll say something like that. All right. Big wide open area. You probably need some light to see that, don't you? Don't you? I think you do. Let's grab some lights. I want it to be somewhat attractive in here. So let's grab the tube lights, I guess. That equals 400 lux, it says. So we'll let that be. We don't need any of these. Let's grab... Do we want a clock so people can see when they need to clock in? Probably. Let's do that. Put the clock over here. Can't put it on the wall. There it is. Right. I want it right there. Okay. And we have our heating and cooling stuff. Let's place, I think, 2 of these. And then the heating, we can place that maybe along the other side. It's fine. Something like that. I was doing it all around the outside with the heating. We can pretend, all right? We can still continue to pretend about the heated flooring thing. That's fine. Okay. We want to have these. Sorry, let's do all of them first. We want to have all of these and then not these marked for shower. Okay. And then these 4 are going to be WC. Cool. And then we can decorate and do all the things. Now, the one thing it's bugging me about right now, and it's, complaining about right now, is the fact that we don't have any HVAC systems here anyway. Like, all of these, they can't get heating and cooling to this building. It's because we're not touching this tile. So what I need to do is the same thing I did over here, where this touches the tile underneath the building. I need the same thing to happen over here. So what I think I'm going to do, I don't want them to be connected. I just want the HVAC to be shared. So we're going to have to take, probably both buildings are going to have to be this way, right? So we can go something like this. Just do that. That will share the HVAC from here to here. And then we can just do the same thing on this side, but we don't need them actually connected. And another mod idea would be great is a utility connection instead of having to do walkways. Because it's kind of silly to have to do walkways and then not use them, but utility connection would be great. Oh, you know what? That's probably on the... Yeah, that's on the parking. You have to be connected to the structure. So we're going to have to actually change that right now. Let's go in and move this to be probably this, at least this far. At least this far. And then we need to bring it from here. Yeah, at least to, looks like this far to be under the building. There we go. All right. So as long as your basement walkway is under the physical structure of the building, then all your HVAC system throughout your entire enterprise is connected. And that leaves me with like one building with all the heat pumps and stuff, and that's completely fine. I like that better. I don't want to have them hanging off the sides of the buildings, right? All right. So with that, this is all passing in. These guys are done. There's plenty of showers and bathrooms right here. It's probably, I'm just thinking out loud here, but it's probably a decent idea to actually connect these two, because if they come in with their bikes, they come down to shower, they could just walk over and come upstairs. And there is room for another set of stairs here. So we could do that. I'm not like super opposed to that, I guess. So what we'll do is we'll take this and we'll clone it to be, well, having to figure out exactly. Yeah, this is the building right there. So I would want it here. I need to move this back by 1. And we can just take this building right here. Do that. Yeah. And then obviously the stairs aren't here, they're over here. So we'll just grab our staircase and do something like this. So people can be down here and get in here. Okay. Let's turn this into parking as our structure right now, just to make it look a little bit better in there. Yeah. All right. We'll probably change the colors and everything, but there you go. And then here, there's no electronics. There's no lights in here at all, which might seem weird, but I'm doing it that way because I don't want to deal with... I want this to be all glass is why I'm doing that. Maybe I don't. Maybe I shouldn't. I should probably put at least one light in here. Can I place this? I'm wondering if it'll let me place it above. It's probably not going to, right? If I make this, it'd be very silly, but if I make this an atrium right now, can I place the smoke detector above the stairs and have it not complain? See, I can, but then I still can't make this glass, and I wanted to make this glass. That's why. So we're actually not going to do that. I just want this to be a tiny little building, and in fact, I might even just go ahead and commit to having it be all glass, and we can just pretend that there's, you know, smoke detectors in here somehow, because the ability to smack a smoke detector on a window is not a thing. I wish that was a thing too. You know what? Ceiling mounted smoke detectors. There's a mod idea too. I got all sorts of mod ideas here. How about a sprinkler system, but a smoke detector instead? Why isn't that a thing? Aren't the majority of smoke detectors in homes, aren't we? We're placing them on ceilings. At least we do in the United States. Every single smoke detector in my house is on the ceiling, not the wall. All the houses I don't think I've ever even remember a smoke detector being on a wall in the United States. They're all ceiling mounted. Pretty confident that they are. I will place some heating and stuff in here just to make it comfortable, but we're not going to place any lighting because they're not going to be spending a whole lot of time in here anyway. It's fine. And then this building, we can go ahead and get a roof for it. Why not? Make it the same as the others. Maybe we can give it some height. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. That's fine. So we got a little roof there too. Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay, cool. So now that that's a thing, we have our staircases through here. We can, of course, color them differently or stylize them differently if we want them to, you know, look a little bit different. That's cool. We can do that too. But the important thing is we need to get everybody in here as a cafeteria. This is where people are going to eat. This is where our kitchen's going to be. And I think our kitchen is probably going to just be in the center right here. And then we'll have people being able to move up. So I need elevators. Where are my elevators going to be? So I'm thinking we place one elevator on this side. Well, that's not where I clicked. I think it did an autosave right as I clicked. There we go. And then if we did another one on this side, that would make the most sense to have two elevators. And then they would come up this way, right? So the stairs go from here. And then our elevators would be located like this as you go up the building. Yeah. And then we break it into a hallway, and then we have two different rooms. One on this side, one on this side. And that would be, let's say, the art department is here. And then you go up another floor from this spot. So let's go in, select the entire floor. And then we want to copy that, and we bring it up to the top. We go like that. We go do it again. All right, so we have a few different floors, right? Glass building all the way around, going all the way up there. Like, it's basically like a big Apple store, okay? There we go. And then what we're going to do, right, is we have art teams are on this floor. Let's say dev teams are on this floor, design teams on this floor, maybe some utilities, or we just keep expanding and we do it again. So we could say that we go maybe art, programming, design, and then utility floor for the solar panels, and done, right? And that would be it. Yeah. And at the very bottom of the gameplay here, we have, like, say, a big break room on this side with a kitchen, cafeteria area on this side. And that's how we're going to do things. So let me organize this. We're kind of 25 minutes into the video now, aren't we? That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. I'll be right back. All right, I got the general design done. It took a little bit of time, but I think I'm pretty happy with it. So they come in here from their bikes. If they need to shower or something, they come through here, and they'll end up down here. And in here, they've got a whole lot of shower options. They got a few bathrooms right here. Then they'll make their way down the tunnel. If they want to, I guess. They could go upstairs if they want to, but make their way down the tunnel, and then they've got a couple of options here. There's a few extra bathrooms here. And then we've got a couple of vending machines and an elevator, and then the stairs. Elevator comes up to this side here. Stairs come up, of course, to here. And then they can take the stairs further up if they want to. 4 bathrooms in this area. Then we've got a break room. They can come in here, hang out, maybe eat some stuff. They got a few mini fridges if people want to store their food. Got a lounging area here. Probably we'll put some kind of plant on the table here. Let's get like one of these little tree things here. Let's just pop that in there. So we've got all that. Then there's a kitchen followed by the canteen. So a little bit bigger area here, dedicated canteen space here. But I think we can actually say that this is a canteen, and we can say that this is a lounge. There we go. Okay. And then the kitchen is, of course, here for our kitchen staff to work in. Let me just do that really quick so I don't forget. We're just going to hire, let's go 1, 2, 3 more cooks. Let's go like 5 more cooks. And we can space them out. Have you come in a little bit earlier. Yeah, maybe just like this. And then have you come in at noon. Then have you come in at like 1 or 2. There's lots of cooks, and they're just going to like generally go to various different places, but it's fine. Okay, so we've got all that happening. That's the first floor, pretty easy. As we hit to the second floor, again, I'm kind of theming the colors around the different types of teams. Still 4 bathrooms per floor. We've also got cameras set up in case criminals come through this door. We'll be able to detect them with these cameras. Down here below as well, we've got a camera there positioned, as well as here at the end of the hall. So we can see criminals as they come in, right? We've got some safeguards against that. And then in the second floor here, this is my art department. So I'm going to have this building focus on FPS games, right? For first-person shooters games. We haven't done these yet, so I figured might as well come into a new genre, new category with a new way of looking at it, all right? So that's how we're going to do this. There's an art department here. This is going to be one team. This is Art 1. There's only 8 desks in here. Art teams generally are fairly small, so I think this will be okay. We then have a room again for another one. So we can split this room and have another art team here, have another art team here. Probably would end up going like this. The art teams are generally fairly small, right? So I think we could probably get away with, I know these doors are very close together, but I don't think the AI really minds. So we'd end up having like FPS Art 2 or something right there, but it's fine. So a couple of different offices here, and then in general, they would be split kind of like that. So another room here, another room here, another room here. Lock that down to there, and then one last room would end up being on that side over there. And I could even have another one and split it here. We'll see how many teams we need, right? But that's the idea, is the art teams would get spread out on one floor here with a whole bunch of different artists and stuff and different teams. Come to the next floor, very similar layout. Everything is very similar as we keep repeating it, but this time it's programming. And our development teams, Dev 1, our development teams are generally fairly large. This is a 26 computer office. And so we'll have another, 26 computer office over here. So we can actually have in development 2 games at once, 2 first-person shooter games at once. Now for the design, I think there's enough room to have 3 design teams here. So I've got the offices split up like this. And I think actually these don't look quite the way I'd like. They kind of stick out being all red, don't they? So let's maybe change the color of these things to something a bit more fitting for the design team. Yeah, like that. Cool. So I think we can get one here. I think we can then have one right here, and then another one will be on this room. So maybe this is a smaller team, but it can still work. Or we can always have it maybe come out like that. We'll see. But for now, this is all I've got. And then this office is going to be managed by, it says casual design. I'm actually going to change that. So this is my going to be FPS design. And so, or I could just say that this is like dedicated design 1. I don't actually know how I want to do this. Maybe we name it like this. Let's just go G design 1. All right. Now I'm breaking from the standard convention that I have. I've already hired these people, by the way. There are 8 people in this team. And there's my leader, Catalina Boyd. And the leaders on this team need to be very good because they're going to be handling project management. The same goes with my dedicated developer team. I need a good leader for this team. I'm not going to bother with a great leader for art teams. There's a lot of different art teams that are going to be kind of doing miscellaneous stuff for me most of the time. So I'm not going to bother with that. But a really solid leader here and here. So we can have 2 projects going with these 2 leaders. 3 projects going with these for a total of 5 projects in project management at any given time. And we can only design 3 at a time, but we can develop the other 2 while 3 are being designed. And then on top of that, we have art teams that are going to support all of them. So we end up having basically 3, 2, 4, maybe 5 on art teams. Okay, that's it. For now, that's the building. So everything's all settled and ready to go. We just need to do all the hiring and stuff. And I've already done a little bit of hiring for the designing team. But if I was to go to designer, I probably want to focus on system and architecture. It seems to be the bulk of what we need for that. So if I was to go to design 1, I'm breaking from my standard convention, right, of having the 1 be the floor that they're on. Because in this situation, it's very clear where the design teams are because it's all color coded and all the design teams are all on the same floor. So it's much easier for me to tell. Okay, so I'm thinking, yeah, we can just add a few extra people here, right? So I've got somebody who will walk instead or ride bikes. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. So we can get you hired for that. We want dedicated designers, right? We're not looking for them to basically be good at anything else. It doesn't matter what they're good at other than design. Fixed rate, pretty good. Let's get the neat freak here. And this person is wanting to be exclusive lead. Okay. Georgia Reed. Tell you what, Georgia, I'm going to hire you, but I'm probably going to get you on a separate design team here. So why don't we hire Georgia? And then I'm going to have you probably on a different team because I think design 1 already had an exclusive lead. So I want to see where that is. I believe it's this person. Is it you? Details. You are non-binding contract. Okay. But you're going to be good, right? I'm getting some really good designers in here. Maybe it's Eden Ortiz. Eden Ortiz, also non-binding. Okay. So we have one that absolutely needs to be the lead design and nothing else. And then everybody else is pretty good to go here. So I think what we'll do on this, right? HR management's already taking care of that. So they'll get their design sorted out. But I want to start a game, right? I want to start designing a game. So let's take out and go. We're going to go with duty calls. Yeah. I mean, I could put of at the end if you really want me to, but you get it. Duty calls. This is going to be an FPS game. And we're going to say this is going to be Char FPS is fine with me as far as the name of this goes. We want Char Engine 2 to be our engine. We want the piracy tools need to be upgraded. So I have all my tools pending upgrade right now. Can't really see that very well because of this view, but they come all the way down the bottom here. We have a few different things that are getting upgraded. Pearl's getting upgraded right now. And I believe that's what we're working on here. Pearl 2 is available, but it's not released yet. This is in beta right now. And for project management, it's not coming out until early next year. I could wait, but see, then when it's released, it'll be 1995 tech. So then I have to wait for another 2 months for them to update it. So instead, I'm manually prompting a 1999 update for Pearl. And that's what this right here is. And it looks like just Game 1's N is doing that, which I feel like Core should probably help out with that. So let's do it. It's 4 p.m. Honestly, they're probably not going to do much. Anyway, there's True Sight for that. Let's let the time run so they can get that done. For operating systems, we, of course, want to target the big ones here. So why don't we kind of do something like that for those? That's probably fine. And now that the operating systems are advanced enough to deal with these things, we don't have to like worry about, well, this one's not available, or you can't do this with this operating system, etc. Okay. So we want online multiplayer, of course, right? We also want local lobby. Multiplayer LAN would be a good thing to have here. Online lobby, split screens, no dedicated server here. Multi-platform is good. So there's a lot of networking stuff, right? We're going to be really focusing in on getting lots and lots of networking stuff. And then I'm probably going to need to hire a couple more designers, maybe that have more networking skill, but we'll see. Now, right away, you can see that we have a lot of designers and stuff involved in this. What we want now is for the design team for this to be G Design 1. That's our design team. And then Design 1 is not the one that's doing the development of this. That's going to go to Dev 1, but we're going to wait on that. I'm going to swap it with Core. For now, I need to make sure Georgia is the lead on this. because she wants to be the exclusively the lead designer, right? So we need to make sure that that's happening. So right now we can see that we have 9 designers, and so far the game needs 6. We're going to be adding more features. So mod support, of course. Dynamic events isn't necessary. We do want the rescue module. Let's get the store and achievements. That's fine too. Online communication, sure, yeah. Tactical shooter, arena shooter, all these things. Weapon components. Let's get a tutorial. Let's get... I really don't need customizable characters. I don't think we need an attribute system. Dexterity, strength, intelligence, etc. I don't think we need that. XP leveling system is nice for things. Maybe the customizable character. I guess if they're online, they'll want to know what they'll want to have to control, like what their character looks like, right? So we could do that. Enhanced weapon physics, sure. Day-night cycle, no need for the cycle. Map can either start in day or start at night, but it doesn't need to cycle. Physical reaction to damage, sure, that sounds cool. So now we're at 9 out of 9 designers. Let's go over visual damage, screen effects. We can get some recoil sprites. This is all 2D stuff. 3D stuff. We're looking for a particle system. That seems good. Pixar shaders is fine. Let's get global illumination. Let's get cutscenes. And I think maybe we don't necessarily need the facial animations. Although you want to see what they look like when that bullet hits, right? Yeah, that kind of thing. Let's get basic physics. No, we want like... We can't get advanced physics yet. Let's get intermediate physics. Let's get adaptive difficulty. I think resource streaming is probably not that big of a deal for this game. The maps are just loaded and you're in that map space. That's fine. State manager is important. No need for open world stuff for this. Now, what do the people want, right? They want lots of gameplay stuff. I actually have a pretty decent mix. For someone who doesn't play FPS games, I seem to understand them okay. There we go. We need a little bit more story, though, and we might get that from the audio system. So I'm thinking we get NPC narration, and probably we want to get the dynamic soundtrack 2.0. Let's get cutscene audio as well. And that's probably good. I think I'm good right there. This is fine. There's obviously some things we definitely could keep getting. There's a lot of stuff in here that we could totally work. But for this game and for what we're building, not a big deal. So right now it says it'll take 6 years. I have 9 out of 13 designers. So I need more designers in that team. That's fine. We can handle that. So let's come over here and get some designers. Now we're going to hit networking stuff, right? So maybe we'll make sure that the designers that we get are really good with networking stuff. And we have 3 additional ones here with some good stars. And I'm targeting big brain so that all of these guys can just max out what they're working on. So I think we take you. And I think we take you. Yeah, good architecture skills too. I'm not certain about the claustrophobic thing. The thing about this, though, is that the windows are going to help this. And I have windows in every single office, tons of window space in every single office here. So I think we'll just hire you anyway and call it good. Okay. So this team now has 14 designers. Take a look back here, refresh this list, and it's going to show 12 out of 13. I'm pretty sure. Well, the leader doesn't count, and the exclusive lead also doesn't count, right? So it is 12 out of 13. So I will need to hire some more, at least one more in there. But that's fine. We need the development team, though, to be done so that I can see that this is not 6 years of development. So I want to go to programmers, but this time we're going to be, let's go with, this is mostly system and architecture this time around for this hiring cycle. We're going to say that we want them compatible with core, but what we're really doing here, and we can go big brain, I guess. What we're really doing here, though, is creating a new team. And we're going to have this be G. Let's call this Dev 1. I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it right now, right? So if we do that, everybody here has big brain. So if we hire you, you're the first in the dev team. None of you guys have special requirements, right? Pretty much everybody is just who you are. Okay, so we're just going to hire all of you. That's fine. That's GDev 1. Now, I might also take some people from core, move them over there because the team is compatible with core. So I can take a look at my core team here. There's 22 people in this. And I can go through this and say, okay, which one of you guys are great programmers? And who wants to go? So you're a good programmer. Now, keep in mind, these guys have the mixture. So teams that are currently, built for a mixture like that it's probably better to put those in there. But if we have somebody who is particularly good at only one thing, like I think Max can go over there. I'm fine with that. Max can go over to G Dev 1. Sure. We can put you, I think, is nah. Basically looking for people who only have that one skill, right? And kinda, you guys are all a pretty good mix at the moment because you've been practicing. You've got training, you've got experience, right? So it's kind of like you're actually useful in multiple ways now. Yeah, let's go to the updates team. Where's updates? Can I have you in alphabetical order? Updates only has 16 people. I kind of don't want to pull from that. Okay, so we'll just go in and hire some more. This time we won't target Big Brain. Well, we actually could go into network. Let's try this. We can do this and then swap it to Dev 1. Keep Big Brain for now. Okay, we have 4 more people in here. That's great. And I like what I'm seeing here. Yeah, let's just get all of you on GDev 1. Now, GDev 1 needs to have about 26 people in it, I think. If we take a look at what our requirements are to develop this game, it's 22. Now, I want to swap this to GDev 1. You will be the one. And also, we need another team that will be doing art. All right, so I've got the teams all set up. Art team has 8 people on it, including the dev. So there's 7 total artists in that. And then we've got Dev 1, which has 26 people, 25 of which are programmers, and then our design team. So as we refresh the list, it says we have 9 artists on this, which is a little bit weird. Probably going to need to take a look at why, because there's only 8 people on this team, 7 of which are artists. I think this person here is probably supposed to do that. Although they do have some art skills, so there's not really a reason to take them off of art entirely other than just those numbers. I think that's actually fine. So if we go in and we change their roles to artist as a secondary, I think that's probably okay. And then on the dev teams, if we take a look at the roles on dev teams, there is, yeah, you. So I think your role needs to be just leader, and that's it. And then we have a designer here on the dev team, which is a little bit odd, probably because his skill hits the requirements. So if I go to HR management, yeah, he shouldn't have that. He should not have that. So I'm not sure why he's being given that. Yes, we're going to override you. You're on the dev team. You're not doing designing. So you have that. And then also same thing here. I'm, again, not really sure. Yes, I want to take you off of service. It's weird. Okay, so we've got these things happening there. And I guess on the design team, I might want to take a look at that. No, we're good there. We have a mentor on this team. Do we need a mentor on the dev team? I wish I could organize them by skill. I might be able to actually. Go to code skill. So the best coder on the team is Baker. So Miss Baker, you... yes, I want Miss Baker to be a mentor. These guys were given this back. Super weird. Okay, I'm going to say that it's because of this being at 50%. So let's bop that to 70. That might explain why it's doing that. Let's put this up to 75. And then the art skill and HR management, yeah, we're going to put that back up. I usually drop it because I want people to be able to do multiple roles. But if we're doing it this way, that's not what we want anymore. All right. So now we have appropriate numbers on this, right? We've got a 10% speed boost, but we're creating a framework. So everything takes a little bit longer the first time around. There's no chance she's a visionary, so I'm not going to bother with reverse Uno. So 6 years of development, we actually need another couple of designers, which I can add pretty easily. And then we have just the right amount of artists now and just the right amount of programmers, pretty much. I added some 2D graphics center stuff, some sprite optimization, pixel optimization, etc. I added some of these things just to kind of help with performance. And I think maybe tile sets is a good one to add too. So we'll do that too. I guess maybe layer overlap doesn't really hit us too hard. So it'll be 6 years of development on this. And this sets me up for what I think is good as a framework to begin on the FPS genre. I'm not doing multi-platform to start because hitting this is very heavy. It's going to add an extra year of development. We'll do it later on the next iteration once we have one game done. So for project management, what do we want to call this one? Well, this is duty calls. Okay. And the leader for this is going to be the leader for the new design team. So it's going to come down to G design down right here. That's the leader for the team, not the lead designer, but the lead. This is the lead designer. Right? She wants to be exclusively a lead designer. So now on design teams, what we do is we hit G design 1 as the design team, and then development team is a totally different team now. And this is, again, we go G, G dev 1. Yep. And then we also, in addition to that, we need the art one to be in here too. Yeah, because they're both on development. Secondary dev teams. What do we do with that? Well, I think maybe we have some of our dedicated games teams. We could say games 2, for example, which only has 2 tasks at the moment, but we could do that. You guys are going to be a support dev team to pick up slack, I guess. Then we have our support, which is pretty easy to find. It's the orange one, usually at the bottom. Marketing, we have all the marketers there. That's good. And post-marketing team is going to be the same thing. Hello, autosave. It's the turn of the day. Nice. All right, and then the update teams. For this, we're going to have the update be the actual dev team, or do we have somebody else do that? Yeah, I think we have updates do it, right? That was the whole point. So updates does that. And then the other team, they're going to go off and do their own thing later. They'll be developing new games, right? So let's crank that up to, like, say, 320%. Just a slightly more development time is fine there. Iteration cooldown, no thank you. Well, yeah, I don't think there's a reason for that. After release, I think I need a dedicated games engine for this. I think I need a different server for this. So let me really quickly, before I finalize these plans, let me go down to my servers. So each of these games, when they get their own setup, right? When we start doing our own games, that's going to take a little bit of juice, right? Each of these games, depending on how popular they are, it's going to take a little bit of juice. So I'm thinking what we'll do is I'm going to make a big room here. And we can always make these rooms bigger, right? So let's just kind of go like that. This is going to be a series of rooms. It's not going to be like this. There's going to be a lot of different rooms here. Also, in 2000, all these servers get upgraded. And when that happens, we need to make sure that there aren't things above them. Because if there are things directly above them, then they won't upgrade correctly. So let's just kind of do that. And I think this one right here. Nope, that's over the walkway. We're good there. So all of these, I think, unless I've missed something, all of these should upgrade without too much issue there. You are going to need to move over to this side. You are going to need to move over. Whoops. Well, I put it in storage. That's one way to move it over, isn't it? There. Stick it in there like that. And I think, yeah, all the things on the wall need to be moved too. So we'll put the vent on that side. Let's put this vent on that side. Yep. The smoke detector, same thing. Put it over here just so it's out of the way. Yeah, we need all these things out of the way. So they won't upgrade correctly if they are in the way. So we'll just do that really quickly. But then we're going to take these servers and let's just duplicate one of them, right? And we're going to stick them in this dark room, which is going to not be a dark room in a second. I actually need to duplicate these lights also and place them within the gaps because it's once the servers upgrade, they're not going to be any light over there. So we need to do something like this in this room. Yeah, to guarantee that there's light in here later. Okay, and then in here we'll do a light there, let's say, and then server light. But this room is going to change anyway. There's going to be lots of different things going on in this room anyway, so whatever. Just add something here. No, let's move it over a little. Let's put it here for now, and then I want a door to get into this room like this. So this will probably end up being a very small server room. And then each game will get its own little room for its own servers. And then we can kind of tweak it from there. We can leave, obviously, an extra space. So if I know that the game needs like 4 servers for the dedicated server, I'll leave enough room for 6, just in case, kind of thing. And then once that game starts to get less popular, starts to lose a lot of the player base, we just take those servers and have it host a different game. You know, so it's never actually pinned to exclusively one game. with the exception of Eternal Kingdoms, because I think Eternal Kingdoms is going to be persistently a popular game. That is going to be a subscription game. We are going to keep doing it as like a live service game, right? And we are going to constantly have updates for that. We're going to keep it updated. It's going to be like the it's going to be our No Man's Sky, basically. It's going to be our World of Warcraft. It's going to be our RuneScape, whatever you want to call it, right? It's a single game that, yeah, okay, RuneScape's probably a bad example because it's had like 4 different versions, but it's fine. It's fine. You get my point, right? It's the same game that keeps going. So this one here, we'll make 2 servers for now. I think that's actually not necessary because we only need 1 for it to be established. So this is server 0 at the moment. And so what server 0 is going to do, once I have fire safety here, because I think the fire dude is coming tomorrow. So let's make sure he's happy. We want to go into the server, and what I'm going to have this be named as, because this is more of this general thing, right? We're going to call this Games FPS. All right. I'm naming it in that order so that all the games ones will end up being there. So I don't have them all mixed in. So anything that's dedicated to specific games will be like this. And as far as the color goes for this one, I'll make it, I don't know. Let's just make it red. It's fine. So Games FPS is here. Of course, Vapor is the fallback for all of our systems. Okay. So with that existing, I can now have that be right there. Let's click all these boxes. Yeah, update cycle. So I think, yeah, 2 months is decent. And then the update duration, we're going to keep it going for 60 months. We'll support it for 60 months. Porting team can be patchers. I'm all right with that. I'm going to stop, I think, manually controlling. Patchers were supposed to be the people that I would manually control, but so far they have a lot of tasks right now. Maybe they won't have a lot of tasks later. We don't have any existing products to send to this project, right? So we're not going to click that. We're going to only use our own licenses for things. We're going to have a 6-month release cooldown so that it gives our people time to do the update type. It's like, we don't need to do that anymore, do we? We don't need to do that anymore because the game is like it's a different team, right? Everything's being passed to one team to another. So once the design one is done with their stage and they pass it on to the devs, do they actually start another project? I don't think so, right? They're not going to start designing the next one until these guys are done. So I don't think Duty Calls is the right program here. I think it needs to be FPS games. But if that's the case, can I change the name? Can I change the name of it? I can't change the name of a product once it's released, right? Like I go into NBA Jam and I say, I want to change the name. I can't do that, right? No. It's just the description. This is a mod. Big sales right here at 97 though. Wow. Probably because I upgraded it. Well, so I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't know how this works because this project is just a project like management, and I don't think it's going to rename the product. I think the product name is separate from this. I'm going to chance that. We're going to call this FPS Games. Okay. SCM is main SCM. And print jobs, I don't know, we'll print 100,000 copies. It's fine. I have lots of money for that. So all of these things are set up and ready to rock with project management right now, with Catalea Boyd being the leader of this. And I can probably give her 2 projects at once because she's exclusively a leader for the team and she does nothing else. So I don't think I'll overwhelm her that way. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do that. So let's have this be the settings and we'll save this as FPS Games. That's fine. And then we'll launch it. So now that is in effect. Let's make sure our filters show project management. And that is here. So I'll bring it to the top. Lots and lots of stuff here. I can probably hide the marketing. I like to see it. I like to see these things and know that they're there. But you know what? I think for now, I can probably hide the marketing. And I don't want to hide support because that's kind of like how I can see where the updates are needed. Like Sharpened Sword needs big updates, right? So Looking through this, we're porting it, but we're not updating it. Right, so Sharpened Sword needs a big update right now. So I can get that going with all of you guys. Let's have... Who doesn't have tasks? I wish I could reorder this list based on tasks. But I see G Art and Design don't have tasks. Actually, G Dev isn't going to have a task right now. So I could have you guys hit this. You're not going to have a task until that design is done, right? So that you guys are my team right now that are going to be doing this. Yeah, that makes sense to me. All right. So you guys are going to handle this. Let's go Char Engine 2. Probably need the anti-piracy tool to be upgraded first. Yep. So I'm still waiting on that. Okay. Put a pin in that too. We got a lot of things we're putting a pin in here, but now that we have this project set and ready to go, we can go to project management and we just... Oh, right. I still need the piracy tool. Yeah. Okay. So that's got to be the rush order. It's updating Pearl right here. This needs to be the rush order. Updates N, core N. Can you guys all get on this, please? I just need that 99% to freaking say 100. Come on. Somebody do it. Thank you. All right. So that's done. Now that that's done, I can come back over to my design documents and this, actually. I can do both. Yeah. Anti-piracy will be Pearl now. This can be upgraded. Go. And then this can now also be Pearl. And we'll start this game's development with 1999 tech in October 1999, which is fantastic. That's ahead of the curve. It's definitely ahead of the competition. Yes. With the appropriate number of people on the project. Select FPS games. Go. All right. That takes care of all of that. We've settled it all. Okay. So when these guys get to work, the art team and the dev team, when they get to work, they actually have something to do. And I can have them be my porters and stuff. I can have them, well, porter not in the sense of moving cars in Car Dealer Simulator, but porter as in the people who are porting the games, right? We can have that going. And we can try out this workflow. Maybe I'll prefer this. Maybe this will be the workflow that I prefer in the future. But again, I am doing another playthrough on this. I'm not sure right away, and I'll probably be streaming it. I do enjoy the live stream experience, and I'm actually hungry for it, and I just can't seem to get a consistent schedule to do it. But I would love to come back and do that. Let's go ahead and get this plot settled. We already bought it. So let's get this plot settled too. And for that, we're going to go with, I think, the vertical parking. Yeah, I want you the same as this one. So we'll just make a parking lot right here. Yeah. I'm just gonna make it to where people can park. There we go. All right, now I just gotta let it run for a while, right? I mean, I just gotta do that. And I think we got dedicated teams for all these things. Although it looks to me, you guys are both hitting this. Is that too many people for YOLO? It might be too many people. Like this is 24 programmers out of 16. I guess it's not that bad. Meadows Rift. You are a little bit light on the programmers necessary for this. So I could get like a really small team too. I've been thinking about that too, like a really small team that can go in and do things. But I'm honestly thinking now with Adventure 1A as a full team, because there's not as much to do, why don't I just do this? Why don't I get a new project for Adventure 1A? We could have them, for example, make the next Sailing Stars right now. We could start that in 1999. And then this project gets passed off to that dev team that's not going to be doing much, right? So we could do this instead. Take you off of the project. And now that dev team that had nothing to do before, they can work on finishing this at the same time too. I kind of like that because there's some artwork and stuff to do here too. Yeah, let's do that. So Sailing Stars this is not something we have in project management, right? Yeah, that's not it. Okay, so Sailing Stars. I think the first thing to think about here is our framework. This is Charred Venture framework, which I'm updating that, yeah? I've been working on it. It's, you think it's updating, but you never know sometimes. This game, you just never know. 99%. But once this is updated, then we'll have the highest tech, and we can actually send that team to do that. We can have them... Hell, I'll just have them do this. Hang on. Adventure 1A. Where are you? You have no tasks? This is your task. Well, they're able to do it, no problem, right? So Charred Venture is now $19.99. Perfect. So let's do this. We can come over here to our, where is it? Sailing Stars, right there. So the super popular game, right? Still has 209,000 players. It's great. And I don't know, is there a reason to, I guess Cat Phone 2 could get it, but other than porting it, I don't think there's really a reason for this. So we can go in and develop add-ons for it or sequels. I think we do a sequel. I think we go straight to the sequel here. All right, so we're going to use an existing framework. That's the Charred Venture framework. It's updated to all $19.99. We can actually get that sequel kicked out in 2 years if we don't add anything. But of course we're going to add something. We're going to add 3D, obviously. And, do we need network features? Sailing Stars, a single-player game? I'm not really sure I need that. We could go multi-platform, but that's not necessary either because there's no multiplayer. Cloud saving is a thing we could add if we wait just 3 years or 3 months. We wait 3 months, we could add cloud saving to it, which could be interesting as it sets us up in this adventure framework to actually have more different adventure games. I think we're going to hold off on it though. We don't need it. Sailing Stars is going to sell really well anyway. I'm going to make it $60. Let's go to the next tab over here. Of course, we're using the latest and greatest of all the engines, although it's interesting that this isn't possible. What? Selected tech levels. 99? Char Engine? Char Engine is not compatible with 1999 tech? Oh, wait. No, this is 3D. Yeah. What? No. This is 3D. I don't know why this isn't compatible. Is this... Do we actually need that to be updated? I thought that was already updated to 99. No, the 2D part isn't. Neither is the audio. Interesting. Okay. Waveform 2. Yep. All right. Well, you guys did such a good job of updating the one thing. I think you can probably hit this one for now. I'll have you update this one too. Okay, when that's done, then we'll go in and send it into here. And we're going to have everything go to project management, right? So I think that's where I needed to go. Somebody else also had a comment down below in the comments. That's where they leave them, right? Is that they have a project management setup for porting and updates. And they send everything to that when it's done, which is a very interesting setup. I would love to know, I would love a screenshot. If you can send me a screenshot of how you have that project set up in project management, that would be cool because I'd like to see how you're doing that without them starting a new project. I don't want them to start a new project. The only thing I can think of here is that you are setting up. It's got to be one of these, right? After release, handle support. You're probably doing it this way. Update cycles. Are you heading release cooldown? Maybe it's this. Auto development. Oh, it's this probably. Yeah. If I tell them not to come up with new projects, then they won't come up with new projects. That's probably how you're doing it. Yeah. I bet it is. Okay, you know what? Let's try this. Updates and ports. All right, here's how we're going to play this. And I'm only doing it this way because I want to see how this mechanic works. I haven't actually done anything with it yet. So this is Layla Hale. She's 47. She has great leadership skills, 3 stars automation, 3 stars on HR, and she's got 2 points left, so we can boost her in multitasking as we go. She is going to go and be the new leader of Patcher 1A, okay? So let's hire you. Now, Patcher 1A already has a leader, right? And that leader is Joy Harrington. So I would want to either fire Joy Harrington or move her to someplace else. Well, she doesn't have any automation tasks, so I'm trying to do project management. So ideally, I would want to fire Joy Harrington, okay? But the thing is, I have no cause to fire her. And if I do, then she has a lot of friends, all that. stuff, right? So what I want to try out, totally unnecessary. There's like almost no consequences for actually firing her here. But what I want to try out is the buyout option that I have with my accounting department, right? With my offshore funds. So Joy Harrington, if I look at accounting, I haven't done this yet, so we're kind of just winging it here, right? I want to do payoff employee. It's $200,000, okay? There's going to be a little bit of heat here, I guess. But if we pay off employee, we want to choose Joy Harrington. So this is Joy Harrington. We click this button, and now they just lost their leader. I paid Joy Harrington $200,000 to leave. Okay. Then we can go and add this person as the leader here. Let's go ahead and do that. Go. So now Layla Hale is the leader of this team, and Joy Harrington is sayonara. Now with Layla Hale as the leader of this team, I should now be able to go over to my project management for updates and ports. And I want to choose Layla Harrington. So where are you, Layla Harrington? Right? No, Layla Hale. Sorry. Yeah, Layla Hale. So you're going to run this. And it's very fitting because you're part of the Patra team anyway, right? Okay, so I've got this as the setup here. Updates and ports. And I can just go ahead and save this, I suppose. We'll just save it as updates and ports. And what I have, I think a lot of these things aren't necessary is what I think. So prototype software, not necessary. None of this stuff is necessary. I'm going to leave use own licenses because if they're going to be updating things, I want to make sure that they're only using our own stuff to do so. I don't know if I really need the print job copies for this at all because we're already should be anyway. We should already be printing. But why don't we just go in and say 40,000 just because. So these are after release things. Updates, tech cycles, marketing support, post-marketing. So we're having this team handle all these things. 2 months per update, 60 months on the update cycle is what I'm going to try to do here. Again, I don't know how this works, so we're going to have this be a thing. And then what I want to do, or what I can do, is I can go to existing products now, and I can just simply add a product to this project management thing later on. So I can go ahead and hit OK. Layla Hale will now be part of our automation framework here. I'm going to put this at the very top, I guess. So that is being handled by Layla Hale. And now what I can do is anytime I want to make sure that things are constantly being upgraded, I can send it to that project is what I'm thinking I can do. I don't know. Let's find out. So let's say I want World of Wizards to be updated. I don't really need it to be, but let's just say I want it to be updated. I can now go in and I could say... How do I send this to project management? Develop add-on, make SQL, competition. Do I update? So I say update like this. But then how do I send it to a project manager? That's the thing that you guys said you were doing. So that's why I want to know your setup here is how are you sending this after it's released already? How are you sending this to a project manager? And that is the part I am confused on. Archived, update, maybe it's a support thing. If I go support, what is that? I'm just hitting support 5A. I've already dropped, maybe it's because I've already dropped support for it. Is that why? If I pick something that I haven't dropped support for, let's say Char Engine 2. Again, how do I add this to project management? I guess that you'd have to go into the window, right? Is that how you're doing it? Are you doing it from that window? So you go in here, existing products, and you click that. Maybe that's how you're doing it. But if that's the case, then how are you adding 2 projects to it? Can you add 2 products? I'm not sure you can, right? So would I need to change this every time I want to, because I get the updates are all being handled now for that product. For the engine, it's all being handled now. I get that. But my understanding was you were sending all of your stuff like that. And I'm not certain that I get it. But it's okay. You know what? We'll play it off and we'll let that happen for now. And then I'll read your comment later because I'm sure you can tell me something I'm missing here. Okay. So Blue Mammoth Games is now a thing. That's neat. We can probably go in and see about buying some of that. Blue Mammoth. You're a new company, aren't you? Solutions division. That's a brand new company too. They are not selling any shares though. Let's see what Blue Mammoth does in the future. We'll buy a little bit of that. Seraph has their European division. Guess we'll buy a little bit of that too. Why not? Okay. So our engine is not updated yet, right? So project management should be doing that. And then from there, if we analyze our market, they want like this. So this is our game, right? And we want 1A. This is, they don't have any tasks, so we're having you guys do this. 1A. And now we can see the setup. So we have 18 designers. So that's got to change. But we can add new things now. So we can add, for example, 3D physics, particle systems, facial animations, sure. We can get cutscenes now, global illumination, procedural generation, all sorts of cool things with this. This is a single player game though, so I don't think I really want multiplayer in this title. We can get tile sets, sprite optimization, facial sprites, fine. Let's do interactive film. Let's add random events. Let's add a discovery system. Let's add a day-night cycle. 4 years of development now. We want open world. I think semi-open is okay here, but we could actually say open world. It's just we're not getting the speed bump on this, and I do want this to stay 4 years. So I might need to pull some designers out of this team and add some programmers, right? That's not hard to do. Resource streaming. Yeah, actually, let's do resource streaming. Because then we don't have loading screens. Love that. Adaptive difficulty, dynamic events. Yeah, adjustable interface, probably not a big deal. Subtitles is a big deal. Okay, so I like this. Obviously, lots of waste, and I don't care about that. I'm making games that I like. I'm making games that I would want to play, right? It's kind of how I'm imagining a lot of these things. And so I think maybe we take the shaders. Yeah, no, let's if I add the Pixar shaders, now it's 10. So I can take a few designers away and add a few programmers. Basically, right? Let's go down to 12 designers and bump this up, let's say to 18 programmers or something. We have just enough artists anyways. Right? So that's how we would play that, as long as we have the right operating systems and stuff. So let's say we want to go, yeah, we just go down the list like that. That's fine. I think Minix is on its way out though, so let's not bother with that. Same thing with FreeDOS. Honestly, these things are on their way out. I think it's probably no point in spending time on that when they're going to be out. Like in 1993, this one's 1991. Those are on their way out. These ones here will be prominent though. These three at the top. And actually BBC Micro 4 is probably going to start gaining. This is fairly new. Cat phone's not compatible. That's fine. I think we'll add BBC Micro to this too. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm now just waiting for that engine update to be done, which I can't tell when it's done because it's not here in front of me. So I guess I can tell if I go into CharEngine 2 and hit update, I would be able to see it on the side now. Yep, we can see the progress on that. It's already 100%. We just need the bugs fixed, but that's not a big deal for me at what I'm doing. So let's finish this. Now, if I finish that, what happens to it in project management now? So if I come over to release, options, CharEngine 2, right? So let's say I wanna do that again. Now they're doing the port, they're doing support and update. Now they're fixing bugs. Okay, so they're just doing it again. Okay. So let's have CharEngine 2 now be selected here. Everything is good to go on this. So I need to take some designers away from this team and add programmers to it. And then Adrian Bird, between 70 and 100 on his creativity. I'm not sure what he's going to end up being, but we're going to have this be a thing. And then we need this to be part of the Sailing Stars project managed thing. I want that. So let's go back into project management. We're going to go to Sailing Stars. And we're going to say the leader for this is 1A, which I don't even entirely sure if we can do that because she may not have... Oh, she does. Yep, she does. Okay. So let's have 1A do this. And same thing as we doing this here, we're going to have 1A be the dev team for the design team for this, development team for this. Secondary devs will be, yeah, fine. Core can do secondary stuff. All the same things we normally click here, right? All the marketing teams, all the marketing teams. Yep, just like that. Update teams are going to be updates, I think. Where is it? I wish I could I kind of wish I could pass it over to another. Ooh, that would be cool. It would be cool if you had a project management setup here that could accept multiple projects at once. And then I would say, when you're completed, when you release, pass it to another project manager. And then you can immediately start another one, you know? But it's fine. Use on licenses. We're going to be using Sailing Stars for this one. Oh, what the hell? Okay, I brought it all back. Got everything back the way it was. Michelle Cruz as the leader. Sailing Stars project is now a thing. So let's come back over to our design document. Everything looks good. It's 4 years of development. Again, we need to bring more people in to add Adventure 1A, and Adventure 1A needs programmers and designers need to be flipped out. So I think, unless it adds any extra time, yeah, dynamic events, we could pop. I'm just trying to see if I want to add anything else to the game, right? You know, I'm going to pop this, and then we're going to add. I know there's a lot of wasted interest. I get it, and it's fine. I'm going to have a game that I really want. So there is a chance that you are a visionary. It is a very small chance. I'm going to hope that that's not the case. And I'm not going to click reverse or no, because that's pretty heavy. You're very small odds, right? Very small odds. Let's just do reverse or no off on that. And maybe we add controller support just because we can. All of this stuff gets added to the framework later, right? Once we use an existing framework, doesn't this get added to the framework once you do this? I think that's how that works. So lots and lots of wasted interest here. Absolutely. Yep, for sure. It's definitely a thing. Not on the story part. Pretty much nailed the story part. Okay, so let's go ahead and get my team sorted out here. We're going to go like this. That's now in project management. All right, so actually what I've done, instead of hiring or firing or moving people around, all I've done is tweaked the settings here for for HR management. I just tweaked the settings so that you had to have a certain skill level to be something on your primary role and all that stuff. And so by doing that, I say 65%, let's say. They'll re-juggle these, and maybe somebody will lose their design skill in a second. Whatever. Like they start shifting, right? And so with that, if I go to Sailing Stars Project Management, I go to Options, and then I go down to Info in this window down here. Okay, you scroll over, hit Info. This will give you this window in Project Management, and now I can see how many people are actually doing the job for this, and it's 13 out of 11 now. So if I shift these variables around, I can get the right number of people working on that at any specific time. And so there we go. That Sailing Stars 2 is now underway. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they do it. Seeing how that lead designer does things. Okay. Loads more stocks to buy. Wow. I'm just going to keep buying everybody. But I also wanted to buy more gold. So I want to show you this down here too. I know we're like at the end of the video here, but I haven't done much. I just want to show you all the things I have done. But if I place a light in this room, there is a bunch of gold and a bunch of silver. I bought a bunch of stuff here, so didn't purchase a lot of silver, but it's there. I'm up 1% on all of these things. I sold the other little two, right? And so I can, of course, go in and now have them buy even more of it if I want to here. The stuff is going up. I think silver's about to start climbing is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to buy $7 million more of silver, and let's get another $11 million worth of gold. I think so, yeah. Framework updates complete. Let's get the procurement. There's my silver. Pop it right there. And gold procurement. We'll get some more silver here too. Gold procurement's done. Let's pop that over here. There we go. And then the last little bit of silver. Maybe we get one more silver because it looks like there's space for it. So we'll get one more silver. So we'll buy that, pop it there, and then we get one more. And there's my precious metals for now. I think copper's a bit overpriced, so we're not going to bother with that one yet. We're going to wait for that one to come down. But otherwise, there we go. We're just kind of stocking some metal. All right, so Char OS is at 86% on the code. I'm going to run a review of this. I want to see just how good it really is. And I think I might do the same thing for Meadows Rift here just to see if we need another iteration. No, I won't do that. Hang on. Meadows Rift needs to release in less than a year, and it is not that close. We need more development on this. And I'm thinking we get... I mean, does Core have anything to do? I keep adding things for Core to do, but Core doesn't have its own projects, so it just helps out, right? Let's put Core on this to help out that. I don't even know if that's going to work, man. There's just not enough time to develop this. I might have to push this back. Thankfully, there's only 30 followers. So if I was to push it back, let's say I announce, hey, we need to release this next year. That happens all the time, right? We need to release this next year. That kind of thing. You know, people will be bummed. Maybe we push it back like 6 months from when it was. You have 1 year and 4 months. Pushing back the release date can make people start unfollowing, and it'll be harder to push it back later if you move it up. Well, make people stop following. I mean, it's the 30 followers, so I don't care too much. So, yeah. Let's just hit yes. We're going to have to do that. And yeah, so some people stop following it, but I don't think we have enough time on that. It's too close. So now we're going to release it March 2001. And yeah, people will stop following. That's fine. We can release... We can do another press release to show people where we are with it, but then also as a part of that press release, we're kind of telling people, hey, you know, we need an extra 6 months, please. That kind of thing. I guess it's more like, I don't know what it is, like 8 months, what I pushed it back for. All right, operating system. Looking pretty fly for our first guy here. I'm thinking creativity was pretty low though, wasn't it? Let's do a quick iteration on that. And we can at least bump that up to somewhere like around a 9. I think that'd be nice. We're not going to have that design happen right now because I'm doing that at night, but it's fine. And then in January, we got a big thing happening here, right? The year 2000 is coming. And that means new tech. It means a lot of new stuff. And it even means that we can add like cloud services and stuff to our software. So we're going to be looking for that because we have a lot of clout in that cloud software game, right? We have a lot of digital distribution, right? People know us for this. And I'm not sure I'm going to upgrade the servers right away. I mean, we're only at 38% here. Upgrading the servers, I believe, is more expensive. It adds a lot of power consumption, which maybe isn't a big deal. If I take a look at my finances, I'm still not, buying power from the grid or anything, so maybe it's okay. Yeah, it'd be a way to invest money into the company and hopefully not owe as much taxes. At least got that going. Solutions Division is a new company. Let's see. What was that about? Milestone SRL is also a thing. Okay, so we'll buy these companies right away. They also have some inspiring people. It seems like everybody that goes public has better people than I do. The burglars are back. It's 5:30 in the morning. They're still going after my printers again. I mean, it was very lucrative the first time, so why not come after it a second time, right? Well, that's why. Get out of here, dicks. Also wanted to reply to a comment here in the video too, and I've already done it in the comments, like typing, but YouTube's just getting terrible with actually being able to have a conversation in the chat. If I go over to my employee benefits here, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people keep saying I need to check these boxes. These boxes are not what you want to check for this. This is how you reset company-wide stuff for various different things. These are the company-wide benefits, okay? So if I take my health insurance, for example, and I say, boom, if I do that, I'm not going to do that. But if I say, 100,000 or whatever, that changes it company-wide. I don't need to click these boxes for that. When I hit apply, that changes it, all right? So if I hit apply, that's it. Now, all of these are the current values company-wide. If I change this, you're going to see an asterisk followed by what it currently is in the company. Okay, that's how you can tell whether or not I'm making a change here or not. For a team-specific value, so let's say I want to change the benefits of Adventure 1A. This checkbox here is how you override the company benefit. So it's going to default to whatever the company is. If I want to slide that over, then I have to click this box, and that allows me to override the company value. I then have to hit apply. Okay, so this would change Adventure 1A's health insurance to 80,000 when the rest of the company is at 70,000. Okay, so if I click that, now this stays checked because it's overriding the company benefit. Okay, if I uncheck this and hit apply, it goes back to 70,000. It's not gone. It's just back to what the company's benefit is. Make sense? So you do not need to click the boxes. The boxes is how you override the company's setting. Ooh, Minix 2's coming out. But I'm literally changing the company setting, so I don't need the checkbox. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, I think I haven't done a whole lot for actual development today, but I think we made some decent things happen in this video. And in the next video, Y2K. Oh boy, we got a lot of stuff happening in the year 2000. We're going to upgrade a lot of computers. We're going to upgrade servers. Maybe. I probably will upgrade servers, even though it's more expensive, just to spend money. And I don't know exactly if we have any major releases coming next year. It looks like, yeah, Pearl comes out in March 2000. Pixel Forge's next edition will come out July 2000. Image Shop is coming out next month. So we're going to have the next Image Shop as well. Exciting times for all of our basic, boring tools to get updated, right? That's what we're going to be doing here. And then obviously support tasks and stuff are being dealt with that way too. I think our operating system has a chance. It's very slim, but I think it has a chance to come out next year. And then Meadows Rift was going to come out next year, but I've delayed it. And so now we have to do with marketing stuff, which I guess I should probably unhide the marketing because this is done. And I need to release it. So now we have a whopping 1 follower on that. So good, man. So good. Let's make sure we're hyping it too, because look at that. We're losing by thousands of percents per month because we push back the date. I don't know how long that lasts, but basically that press release was a waste of my time because I can't fight against losing 2,000 followers per month, but I have to hype this to kind of neutralize this. I'm not sure how long that lasts, but it's fine. It's fine. This will be a better game. We're going to have more sales if I just push it back, okay? It's better than being late, I think. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. It looks like this is going up, I guess, even though the number looks like it's going down. This is how many I'm losing. So, yeah, we're mitigating that slowly but surely. Take care, guys. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.